Welcome back to another episode of Let's Finally Grow. I'm your host, Ari. And today, we're interested in resolving things. What the fuck are we interested in resolving? Conflicts, of course. We are interested in resolving conflicts, or at least we're interested in talking about resolving conflicts. So I have went back and forth on this topic thinking, is this so stupid to talk about? Like, will people want to hear this? Or is this a motherfucking genius? And I've already recorded one episode. I hated it. I was editing it in the middle of it. I said, fuck this shit. Now I'm in a conflict with this episode and I don't want to resolve it. And here we are again, trying to get to the resolution. And the one thought that brings me back to wanting to make this episode about, what is conflict resolution? Where should we be applying it in our lives everywhere? Is that I didn't know it fucking existed. And I see enough conflicts around me to know that there's other people that don't know it exists either. So let's get into it. Let's fucking go. Let's get in. Let's resolve. Let's get a conflict first. Then we're going to resolve it. Oh, because conflict had a resolution. Okay, no one will listen if I keep acting like that. As I said, I did not grow up knowing that conflict resolution existed. I grew up thinking that if there was a conflict with another person in any type of atmosphere, in any type of relationship, it meant war. Well, at first, I guess I always thought it meant war because at first I thought I need to avoid this at all cost. I was not capable of handling a conflict. And then when I became capable, my capacity grew to be able to handle the conflict. I was at war. I was at a battlefield. I was going to bat. I was literally ready to defend the fuck out of myself in a world war many times. And I would think to myself that I had to stand up for myself. Like, if I'm not, who's going to? And I don't know a time that's ended nicely. But now I have a whole new lens of life. I have a whole new way of perspective of looking at things. And I think in any kind of conflict, how can I resolve this? I still have the emotions. I still have the fucking fireworks going off. Maybe the triggers, we should be at war, whatever. I have that going off. And then I take a step back and I think to myself, how can I resolve this? Do I want to resolve this? Is this even possible to resolve? They're the questions I ask because I have had enough conflicts at this point in my life to recognize the patterns and the behavior that eventually when my ego calms down, if I really did fuck with that person, if I really did like that person, care for that person, I'm going to wish it, at least there was an option of it for it to be resolved and that it's not on me, that it's not resolved. I don't want to have to wear that on my back. And one of the main reasons I think conflict resolution is just so fucking cool is it's another way to protect our energy. And we love energy, big energy around here. I don't want to fall into a trap of being triggered by something and having a conflict with someone who I don't even need to. Like, are they going to want to resolve it with me? If not, then that's a waste of my time. And if so, it doesn't have to be a conflict. And especially if it was a trigger, there's so many things that go into it, which we'll get more deeper in. But let's go into funny story time. When did conflict resolution ever even cross my mind? Well, I had a friend and I had a lot of people that are not my friends anymore that were friends for a brief period of time in my 20s. I've talked about it before. I think it's common. I used to think it was uncommon, but now I see more people talking about it. In your 20s, you go through friends a little bit, So I had a friend, and I'm not even talking shit. This just truly was like the first time I thought of conflict resolution. So, had a friend, and she was bragging about how she understands conflict resolution and she understands the importance of it. And it was at a time where I was losing friends left and right. So I was like, how does that work? Like but it didn't make me feel a little like, ooh, like, why am I not working to resolve things? Like, why am I stuck in these unhealthy patterns? And I don't want to say it made me shame myself because I feel like it's natural for that to happen. Like, depending, if no one taught that to you, then like your natural instinct is to stand up for yourself, defend yourself, and like whatever comes with that. But when I heard it, it made me feel a type of way. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I should learn how to resolve conflicts. Like, mental note taken. How the fuck do we do that next? She wasn't wrong for bringing that up to me because it really did pop the question in my mind and made me realize a lot of things. But I feel like a month later, her and I got into a conflict, and I remember she said conflict resolution. So like I was like, okay, I want to resolve this. Like, I I can do it. I can fucking do it. Put me in. And she did not want to resolve it with me whatsoever. So thanks for the word, but you didn't show me the meaning. And around the same time, I actually resolved two major conflicts with two friends that I had lost in my 20s. So one was a friend who I had been best friends with since grade school. We moved in together in our early 20s, like 21, 22, first time living together with friends. Like, it was a recipe for disaster. We blew up our friendship within 3 months of living together. And we missed a lot of each other's lives in our 20s. And nothing happened that was so bad that we couldn't forgive each other. But in the heat of the moment, our egos definitely made us feel that way. And later on in our 20s, we came back together and we realized how important the love and care of our friendship and for like each person from the other person is. And we resolved our conflicts so easily. And I had that happen with another friend in like my mid 20s. She was my best friend from high school. And we didn't have anything like horrible happen in our friendship, but we just kind of drifted away from one another. And I think that our lives were just growing in complete different directions. And like we needed to figure that out on our own. And we were so close that like, you know how you have like a friend in your life. Like I'm sure everyone has had this at some point, if not still, where there's just a friend that you're very codependent on. Well, that was my friend where there was so much codependency. And I think the separation did us well. I mean, we missed a lot of each other's lives. And when we came back together again, it was like, that was so stupid. Like we care so much about each other. We love each other so much. It wasn't worth it. But I have to say, for both of those situations, it taught me so much. And it taught me the value of another person in your life, because in both of those situations, my ego had me thinking, I can't let this person take advantage of me. I need to defend myself. Like, if I don't stand up for myself, who will? Like, I was just trying to be right. Like, that was the pattern. I was trying to be right. I was trying to stand up for myself. I was trying not to seem like you could walk all over me, or who knows, like all of that. And when the ego did calm down, which it eventually did, because it took years for me to get these friendships back. I missed the person. Like, there was a reason that each of those people were my friends. And I fucking loved them. I cared about them. I had fun with them. Like they knew parts of me that, you would only be able to know from grade school, high school. Like we grew up together. Like it is so actually so special. And they're both such special people. It had me between, hearing the girl bring up conflict resolution, the term that she wanted to brag about to me, but then didn't want to resolve our conflict, and then resolving conflicts with two people that are very important to me. It just put a different price on resolving a conflict for me. And now the more I do it, or at least the more I attempt to, because not everyone wants to resolve a conflict, the better I fucking feel. So we all want to be heard in any situation, and especially when we feel misunderstood or like someone's taking advantage or we're triggered, whatever the situation that causes a conflict is. And I see this like common pattern of, and I used to do this. I used to be a part of this. Like I was in the pattern. So I've experienced, I've fed this common pattern of wanting to be heard so much that when there's a conflict, you go and you talk about it with everyone else that is not the person involved. And you feel validated, you feel heard, you feel like you have people on your side. Like you're defending yourself, but like to people that literally aren't involved in the situation whatsoever. And now like that energy builds up to so much more like dramatic and drastic of a situation. It happens like anytime. Like anytime that I have gone and I've talked to friend after friend about a situation and I've had to have my story heard and like I never talked about it with the person at hand, I wind up like secretly not even liking that person and building it into something so much bigger than it ever needed to be, to the point where I'm too uncomfortable to even then go and resolve it with that person, because what am I going to say? Hey, I'm upset about X, Y, and Z. And also, I've been talking shit on you like crazy. Like I have this whole image of you, and all of the people that I talk about have this whole image of you too. Like that's just not casual to fit in. And I don't think anyone's going to fuck with that. So you go up, you finally go to resolve a conflict with someone, and they're only hearing what you're upset about and now not what you've done that made the energy weird in the situation as well. And when we go back to energy, like I want my energy to be good. I want the people that are around me to be good. I don't want messy shit or things that I need to hold on to longer than I'm supposed to. Like that's not cute or fun to me. Like I don't want to have a conflict with this person, X, Y, and Z. Like if there is a chance where I can resolve it, I want to. And if someone doesn't want to resolve it back with me, I can lay my head down knowing that I tried. I did the best I could. You also just don't know what someone else's patterns are, what they've gone through. Like some people are in the pattern of wanting to be a victim. I definitely don't want to, I'm not able to resolve a conflict with someone like that. Some people intentionally want to stir the pot. Some people, like people just have to work through their own shit, and you don't have to resolve that. Like you definitely don't. I've learned that the very hard way. And for me, to reference those two stories that I told you about, because there were conflicts and it took so long to get those resolved, and I literally just feel so grateful that they were ever even resolved. It showed me the value of a person in my life that I care about. So if there is someone in my life that I know I care about deeply and there's a conflict and we're not able to resolve it, I'm going to hold space for that person. Like I'm not just going to drop them off the face of the earth. Because in a way, in a sense, that still like is me trying to be right and not have my ego bruised or whatever the fuck it is. I'm going to hold space for that person. Maybe they'll come around, maybe they'll not, but at least we don't I don't add in all of that extra drama to make it that much more difficult to come back together. And there are friends that I have lost that I I don't want them. I don't want them to come back around, come near me. Like there's nothing to be resolved there. So you can't resolve everything with everyone. And that's okay. But I'm talking about for like the minor conflicts, which are usually most of the conflicts in our lives that are just so blown out of proportion. Once trust is lost or someone does you like really dirty in friendships and work and dating, any kind of anything, family, like I don't care. That is, you don't want to get stuck in those like patterns or those cycles. But I think in romantic relationships too, like especially when you're just getting to know someone, we're so protective of ourselves, our hearts, our time, our mind. And we do create a lot of conflicts based off of triggers or, not trusting guys, which I get because we've been disappointed by so many. And we create conflicts pretty easily. But I also think that it's very important to like make sure someone that you're dating, talking to, hanging out with, any kind of relationship with, that they are able to talk about feelings, because that's the easiest way for you to not want to create conflicts that are unnecessary. We're all learning. We're all just fucking learning together. And I'm learning that I do not want the fucking drama in my life. Instead of looking at conflicts with other people, issues, weird energy, whatever it is, as wanting a specific outcome of the situation, I look in the mirror. Maybe I don't look in the mirror, but I'm going to start looking in the mirror. I look into the camera and I say, do you want... I literally, like, what am I going to do? Ariana, you never, ever fucking do this. But in the heat of the moment, I think to myself, now this is sounding more like on brand for what actually goes the fuck down. I think to myself, is this person really important to me? Do I care about this person? Did this person do something that is like so fucked up, or no? Can we move forward from this? Am I going to miss them? Like, I just think about those things, and it helps me recognize like what I actually want to say to them to resolve something, or what I'm being triggered by that is just unnecessary. Like, life can be so much more simple and like easygoing than we make it. And I feel like when I act this way, like when I am like, what's going on here? Like, do we want to resolve this? Is there something to be resolved? Is there not? Is it a misunderstanding? I'm just like so much more in control of my emotions. And that just feels so much fucking better. Like, I think that's what it comes back down to a lot of times. Like, last week I talked about reactions and not giving them away. And like, it's, with a conflict and you react, shit hits the fan, shit goes crazy, you're going to be unhappy with yourself. And if I can't resolve something and I know I at least tried to handle it well, I'm smooth sailing. There's no downtime. We're moving forward. Also, a lot of people want to feel not guilty. Like they don't want to feel wrong, so they have to be right in the situation. And that's why, like we talked about, they go and they talk about it to every single person. And like they have versions of the story and whatever. And all of it is to try to take that weight off of your chest of feeling like you did something wrong. But that comes with you being in control of your emotions, which sometimes also means admitting that you were wrong. 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 times. You played a part in a situation. You were wrong in some capacity. And there's nothing wrong about that, ironically. I'm wrong all the fucking time. Like, honestly, I was the person who had to be right about a lot of things. And now I'm like, now let's just see what the fuck I did here. Like I could have, if it could have been me and I could have done it. Like, and if so, I want to get down to the bottom of that, recognize it, and move forward versus ignoring it and having it be a pattern. It burnt my hand on an air fryer. I don't know if you can see that, but like it really hurts. It happened 2 days ago. So that's why I'm using the mic in this hand. Normally it's the other. Life feels better when you're less stubborn, when you want to understand people, when you want to see your part in a situation, talk things out, keep the people in your life that you love dearly, and can see who wants resolutions in your life and who wants chaos. That's a good way to weed them out, weed them in. Boom, boom. Pick through. Choose what you like, what you don't. And life's already so fucking complicated as it is. It's just another thing that like we have control over, that gives us more peace of mind, that helps us rest at night, that helps us stay surrounded by good fucking people. There's too many people having issues with people that they love, where it's not worth it, and creating chaos in their life. So let's be one less person. Let's resolve one more conflict, one more conflict resolution. Let's fucking go. Like, one less conflict to resolve. Whatever. I feel so delusional right now. Like I said, this was my second time recording this episode. So I pray there's something good in it, that it's resolved. There's no longer a conflict. And yeah. So we'll talk shortly. We'll talk soon. And in the meantime, just think about what I said. Mwah.